Let me ask you a question. What Pokemon do you think have been forgotten by the fandom, and why do you think that is? Could it be because of their design, accessibility, or overall strength? We'll probably never know the answer, but today I decided to show some love to one of these forgotten heroes in a solo run of Pokemon Soul Silver, starting with Seal and Dewgong, the Sea Lion Pokemon. Stat-wise, it doesn't have anything special with its highest stat being in HP and special defense, but looking at the moveset, I'm starting to get a better picture of its underused nature. Learning mostly water and ice type moves with a handful of others that doesn't leave much leeway and versatility, but hey, we've worked with much worse before. Standard challenge rules apply, nothing that hasn't already been done before. I'm just a guy looking for an excuse to play Pokemon. Let's get started. I replaced Totodile with Seal so that our rival would have Chikorita. I named it Gongming, some ancient Korean ruler that I picked out by complete accident. A gentle nature, some more special defense, less physical defense, and hydration ability, which cures our status condition under rain. This will be a big help much later. I could mention something funny about how the randomizer changed Lyra's Meryl into an Electivire, but I'm not that creative with jokes, so I'll just say that it looks funny. As starting movesets go, we're lucky to start with Headbutt to get past the trainers in Sprout Tower, and eventually we learn Icy Wind as well. Not only will it help us in the Flying Gym, but also for speed control since it drops the opposing trainers by one stage every time we use it. Feeling confident, I skip the gym trainer and challenge Faulkner right away. Having the Icy Wind gives us a speed advantage against the Ace Pidgeotto, which was a big help, and we also learned Encore by level up. A very cheesy but very essential move that will hopefully give us a leg up against stronger Pokemon. Going through Union Cave was a breeze. Having an Ice type move is a blessing to take down the coming Rock types, which by the way we are not weak to since we are pure Water type right now. Something a few people don't realize is that we don't get the secondary Ice typing until we evolve into Dewgong. You can take that as a nice teaching moment right there. Here in Slowpoke Well, we have our first encounter with the returning Team Rocket. Being at a good level, they pose no immediate threat, but they do give us some nice EXP, in which we learn Ice Shard, a priority move that might come in handy if we need a last second hit to finish the opponent. Bug Gym time. I took this opportunity to try out some Encore shenanigans, lowering Scyther's speed and locking it to only using Focus Energy. It works for a good while, but while trying to set up another one, it uses Quick Attack, locking that move in instead, and we take a lot of damage before taking it out. Gongming tries to hold out, taking out the following Metapod, but eventually will just fall to the Kakuna. I never thought I would see the day I would lose to that Pokemon. A couple of tries later, we get this run where we immediately Encore lock it into using Focus Energy and get a sweet Icy Wind crit to take down the Scyther. The rest of the battle pretty much steamrolled after that, earning us the second badge. Next up is a rival battle, but with Icy Wind, it went by with no trouble. It was at this point I start to realize that maybe I should have let him have the Water starter for more of a challenge. Coming up is the normal gym and the fear-inducing Miltank, so let's spend some time getting some levels and coming up with a plan. Looking at its moveset, our best bet is probably encoring either Stomp or Milk Drink. Neither of which is a good option, but it's much better than Attract or Rollout. The question then becomes is if we'll have enough health to survive. Normal gym time. Things start out worrisome against the starting Clefairy because of Q-Charm making us fall in love, but with our newly learned Aqua Ring giving us passive healing, we do take it out. Then the Miltank comes out, hits us with Attract, and the battle is basically over. For the next couple of minutes we struggle landing a hit, which don't do much damage I might add, until Miltank stomps us to death. I pretty much expected as much. The next couple of attempts aren't much better, even if Gongming is able to Encore move. If we lock in Attract, we'll never land a hit. If we lock in Milk Drink, we'll never do more damage than she heals. And Rollout? Well, it's pretty much automatic death. So Stomp is our best option. Problem is that we don't have the health to survive the onslaught even with passive healing, so it's time to grind. We're back at level 30, and even though we have a lot more health, the fight isn't that much easier. Locking in Stomp on Miltank is still our best strategy, but we're still not doing enough damage to put it away. On this attempt, we got it down to red health twice, but those dang super potions kept saving it until a mistimed Encore failed, and Miltank was able to use Attract that doomed us for the rest of the fight. Man, that was our closest attempt. Finally, a couple of tries later, we locked in Miltank into using Attract, and even though we were immobilized for a few turns, alternating between Icy Wind and Headbutt with just a little bit of luck in damage ranges was finally enough to defeat the dreaded Devil Cow. Man, you can believe the sigh of relief I had when this happened. Whew. On the road again! Yeah, we are on the road again! As we stop by the dance studio to get the Survey Gem and finally give Gongming a proper stab move with a lot of power. No doubt this will help us in the Ghost Gym. Before that, however, we have another rival fight. Although besides the bay leaf stalling for time with synthesis, it was a pretty forgettable fight. Come to think of it, I wonder what generation has the most consistency in terms of challenging rival battles. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. For me, the opinion has to go to black and white, because there's so many of them, you know? Time for the ghost gym, but I forgot to fully heal Gongming and we sort of pay for it when we get to Gengar as he puts us to sleep and blasts us with Shadow Ball. Let me try that again. Okay, fully healed this time, Ghastly couldn't take a single serve. Gengar is next, and then after a speed drop with Icy Wind, we managed to lock it in into using Mean Look and took it down easily using Surf. The following Haunter puts us to sleep right away and starts feasting on our dreams for a few turns. Thankfully, we woke up in time to hit an Icy Wind and Encore combo to lock it into Dream Eater. We set up an Aqua Ring for healing and finally take it down. The last Haunter is out, and we ran out of Surf power points, so it's back to another Icy Core combo to finish the fight and win us the badge. Those moves are going to be our best strategy for the hard fights. And good thing too, because our cute little seal is evolving into an even thicker cute seal. How could you ever forget that face? Alright, so now we have a split path in front of us. Do we go west towards the fighting gym, or east towards the ice gym? Even though we have a couple more levels in the fighting gym, I'm still worried about taking too much damage from a super effective hit. So let's go east. On the way we handled more story related stuff. Running away from the red Gyarados, Lance blasting an NPC with Hyper Beam, and following a Murkrow that can mimic a guy's voice. I thought only Chatot could do that. Anyway, nothing too hard. Ice gym time. We set up an Aqua Ring for safety and start hitting with some serves while the opposing seal does what it can to stick around, but to no avail. The poor thing. Piloswine was a one-shot with Surf, but now we have a Dewgong mirror match. Our attacks are resisted, so I carefully try to whittle down his health to avoid Price using a healing item. Unfortunately, I failed, so I start attacking normally after the first heal. I thought we had it, but then he heals up again with a full restore as we run low on power points. I thought we had him again, but the Encore we set up ended and he used Rest to heal back up to full health. This is a problem. I locked Dewgong into using Sleep Talk while I used the remaining Surfs I have to bring him into red health, and with just one use of Icy Wind remaining, we narrowly scratched out a victory. Okay, after that last match, I realized that we have a new problem. Since Gongming doesn't have the power to do reliable amounts of damage to Pokemon with resisted types, we run the risk of running out of power points in crucial moments. It may not matter right now in simple trainer fights, but for those who have full teams, like the Elite Four for example, we could end up losing, so we gotta use what we have sparingly from now on. Or we could run into unique situations like here in the fighting gym, where Primeape was an easy one-shot with Surf, but Poliwrath is immune to it thanks to its water absorbability. We have to rely on Icy Wind, which is resisted. We Encore lock him into using Surf so we don't get dealt with so much damage while we spam Icy Wind. Eventually Poliwrath does go down, but that's only because we got a lucky crit after he healed the first time with a Hyper Potion. It took all of our power points to win this fight, but we may not be so lucky in the future. Thankfully we get a nice break at the Steel Gym as it only takes 3 hits to take down the entire team. Sometimes you just need a breather, even on a casual run. Alright, let's finish the story plot. Some infiltrating here, a couple of Surfs there, another easy rival battle, we learn the move Ice Beam, and finally prevent Giovanni from coming back. Let's be honest though, it would have been an easy fight if he did. Now let's get back to the gym challenge. While I figure out this cave puzzle, let's think ahead about the remaining battles we got. Now that we have Ice Beam, we shouldn't have much trouble in the Dragon Gym since we'll be doing at least neutral damage. After that we must fight the Kimono Girls, which might be tough since it's a gauntlet style battle with no chance of healing in between. After that we got one more rival battle, and then finally the Elite Four. Not too much to worry about, except for our power point usage limit, so I might need to look into getting some ethers and elixirs. Dragon Gym time. So I have to admit that I had to reset once here because we ran out of Ice Beams before we got to the Kingdra. But once we did have some, the match was pretty much a cakewalk. The next up is the Kimono Girl Gauntlet. The starting Umbreon loves hitting us with Confuse Ray, so sometimes we hit ourselves before taking it down. The Espeon is pretty frail, but can sneak in a Psychic for more damage. Flareon gets doused by a Surf, so no problem there. And next is Jolteon, which is the real threat. It likes using Double Team, so although we get a hit in, we kept missing the finishing blow until we go down to a couple of Thunderbolts. A couple of resets later, everything lined up in our favor as we had better confusion luck and somehow outsped the Jolteon to finish it. Last was Vaporeon, which has Water Absorb, so we Encore lock it into using Quick Attack as we spam Ice Beam to finish the match. Alright, now we got the Elite Four to deal with. Level wise we're looking pretty good, so our health and power shouldn't be a problem. The only thing I'm worried about is that we only have 2 attacking moves, and if we will have enough power points and restoring items to get through the whole thing. Oh well, nothing left to do but to give it a shot and see how it goes. First up is Psychic Trainer Will. Our attacks do okay damage with only Slowbro being the tanky one, but we encored it into using Curse and did the right amount of damage with Surf to avoid a healing item. That was swell. Next is Poison Trainer Koga. We barely missed a KO on most of his team, but we do get a couple of crits in return to take them out, which is good because Koga likes playing the long game with stall tactics. Not today, man. Now we got Fighting Trainer Bruno, and I learned two things from this battle. One is that I'm pretty forgetful, as I didn't use an ether to restore my power points before the match. And two is that when he does land an attack, it really hurts as we faint before we run out of moves. Our next attempt we do better until we get to the champ, who takes a surf-like one and then completely destroys us with a super effective cross chop. That wasn't even a crit. We may have a problem here. Okay, you are not gonna believe this. I thought I'd try one more time to see if I get lucky with some damage ranges before I had to resort to grinding, and then this happened. Yeah, not only did I get a 10% freeze from Ice Beam, but the following hit was also a critical which destroys the Machamp. That must be a sign of love from the game. Dark Trainer Karen is last, but we were faster than everything and didn't get status by anything. Oh, but we were graced by another freeze against our Gengar, so that was fun. Finally is Pokemon Champion Lance, but let's go over a couple of things. We're bulky, have water and ice type stab, and an okay way of healing. What is that all equal to? I'll give you a second to answer. Did you get it? If your answer was a completely wrecked team of dragons, then you were right. With the champion defeated, we have achieved victory, but the run's not over yet. We still got all of Kanto to crush and the secret final boss, Red. The gyms on this side of the map aren't much more difficult than the Elite Four, but sometimes there are some that might cause a problem. Let's go find out. And would you believe it, the Electric Gym was a bit of a challenge. If you took notice of the reset counter, you can see that I've lost a couple of times. That is because as soon as we got to Kanto, I wanted to test my strength against the first gym we could get to, which so happened to be this one. The problem is that most of his team loves setting up Shadow Clones with Double Team, decreasing our chances of landing a hit. Add that to the fact that they also paralyze us with Thunder Wave, and every attempt was basically a downhill battle. So I left to battle other gym leaders in order to get some levels. I came back at level 70 hoping that would be enough to close the gap, but unfortunately not all the way, as when we get to the lead Electabuzz, super effective low kicks dealt massive damage. Alright, I've waited long enough, but it's finally time to bust out our secret weapon. I taught Gongming Rain Dance to not only boost our water attacks, but in conjunction with our ability Hydration, any status we have by the end of the turn will be healed if the rain is still up. With all attempts of getting paralyzed being denied and our surf now being boosted, Lieutenant Surge and his men have been relieved of duty. The rest of the Kanto gyms fell in a similar way, even more so now that I've equipped the leftovers for passive healing. With all of them defeated, we now have access to Mount Silver and the final battle with Red, so let's take a quick look at our stats. As far as solo Pokemon runs go, we are pretty average in everything besides HP. Don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but hey, this is why we do this to find out. Make your final guesses if you think we can win this or not. Let's do this. Alright, first try against Red, and we get completely destroyed. That was a light bulb boosted Volt Tackle right there, folks. So let's come back with some more levels. Okay, another attempt at level 85. Nope, we are still slower and can't take a single hit. Alright, let me go find some rare candies to max out our level and try this again. First attempt at level 100, we are now faster than Pikachu and can take it out in a single surf. That's progress. Next out is Venusaur, and we take advantage of the ongoing hailstorm so our newly learned Blizzard doesn't miss, dropping its health to the red, barely missing the knockout. We then take a huge chunk of damage from a super effective Giga Drain while our next Blizzard takes him out. Blastoise is out next, and we do some damage testing with Surf, taking about 1/4 of his health while he hits us with a Focus Blast. After he misses the next attack, I take a risk going for Blizzard trying to get a freeze, but to no avail as we go down to the third Focus Blast. The following try we came back with more health, and even after a full restore, we managed to bring down the turtle, but with such low health after taking too much damage, the Snorlax was tanky enough to take our hits and it finishes us. Okay, we're gonna need a way to heal because this battle is gonna take a while. Fortunately, Hydration also cures self-inflicted status ailments, so we get rid of Encore for rest, and as long as the rain keeps going, we basically got a free full restore of our own. We spend the next attempt trying to figure out the timing of when to set up the rain, because the ongoing hail provides some helpful chip damage that we are immune to, while also guaranteeing that our blizzards hit. Not to mention that Red still has a Lapras waiting in the back that we don't even know if we can hit. Everything has to go right for this to work. Okay, you guys need to pay attention to this because this attempt was wild. Our first Blizzard against the Venusaur missed the KO range, so he was able to land a Sleep Powder. We couldn't attack on the next turn, letting him hit us with a Giga Drain for 1/4 of our health. Thankfully, we woke up on the following turn to knock him out with a Blizzard. We used another one on the Blastoise, doing okay damage as he starts firing some Focus Blast. I figured we could take another hit, so I used this chance to set up the rain as our health drops to red. We spend the next 2 turns using rest because of an unlucky crit on us once we wake up. Then Blastoise goes down after 2 surge just before the rain stops. We start up another one as Snorlax starts chipping away at us. A surf does 1/3 of its health, but we have to sleep again to heal back up again. Snorlax then goes all in with a Giga Impact, doing massive damage as we hit a blizzard. We have a free turn because of the recharge, but I make the mistake of not counting our rain turns, as when I use a rest, it doesn't get healed at the end of the turn. After 2 turns of taking hits, we wake up to set up the rain again and go for the killing blow, but leaving Snorlax with just a barely sliver of health. Knowing that a healing item is coming, I just use another rest to get us back to square one. Man, this guy's annoying. We went back and forth just like before until finally we were able to wash away his health with another surf. It's not over yet as Lapras is next, and thank God it does not have water absorb, as we hit it a few times to drop it below half health. As the rain stops again, I notice that we're running low on power points as I use our last rain dance. After healing up again, our next attack drops Lapras into iron range, and this is where I start panicking. With only 4 uses of Surf left, if Red uses another full restore, we won't be able to win with just Blizzard. Unfortunately, with this new knowledge, I start playing too cautiously, trying to get the Lapras within killing range that I don't have enough health to survive the body slams. So eventually we go down. We were so close. I'm not giving up though, so I give it one more good try. One Surf takes out the lead Pikachu. We got a high damage roll on the Venusaur, so it was also a one shot with Blizzard. Blastoise takes a good chunk of our health with Focus Blast as we continue using Blizzard. Noticing the hail damage, I decide to keep using Blizzard as Focus Mist continues to earn its name. Thankfully, its health was just enough out of healer range for one more Blizzard to take it out. We now set up the rain on Snorlax as he hits us with a few crunches for a bit of health. One Surf brings him just before half health, but we use another Blizzard to get it just within killing range before taking a massive Giga Impact that drops our health all the way down to 19 points. Good thing we still had 2 turns of rain left as we heal back up with rest as Snorlax recharges, letting us use the last turn of rain to knock it out with a surf. Rain goes back up as Gongming and Lapras trade blows for a few turns while thankfully staying clear of paralysis. Worrying about a full restore, I tried to land a Blizzard to get into KO range but end up missing and wasting a rain turn. The next one does hit though after we healed up, but even after a rain boosted surf, Lapras survives only to get healed after, so we're back again to square one. I decided the heck with it and just started going on the offensive, hitting with Surf. Though I did use one without the rain so that when I set it up again, it was finally enough to take down the Lapras at last. Only Charizard remains, but we're faster, and one Surf was enough to finish off the final Pokemon and win us the game. Man, I really need to show more respect to these solo runs because battles like this can really test your will to fight. But in the end, it sure is worth the satisfaction of winning. Thank you all for watching the run. I'm still trying to get some videos done in the background, so there won't be so much of a wait for the next challenge. If you like what you see and have a suggestion of something you would like to see in the future, let me know in the comment section below. You all have a great day and always remember to stay awesome.